Hello and welcome to Earthlove Global's Field Day. We do regular field days all over Australia, regenerating and helping farmers and landowners to grow naturally and vigorously. Here we have a fallow property that has been ploughed in. Now, obviously, they've done their first plough in. They're going to go and do a second to get rid of majority of the second lot of pop-up weeds, which then what that does is puts all your soil humus and your biomass mixed through 15 odd inches. So here we're going to show you there's several ways to regenerate land, and the biggest one is through the application of organic matter. Now, when you put organic matter on top of the surface, you, one, suppress weeds, two, you will start to see a significant decrease in new weeds growing, and also, if you do it thick enough, obviously, and also you start to feed the microbes, the fungi and bacteria on which is meant to be the soil humus layer. So this is all topsoil now, and the soil humus layer has been ploughed in, meaning all the organic matter on top is not really going to do much at all for a good couple of years. There is a way around this, and what you can do is you can actually do this process where you put biomass back on top of the surface, and then you go through the whole entire property and you apply a liquid humus application. Now, Earthlove Global helps rural communities. We come to your rural community and set up full facilities in regenerating your land and your ecosystem. And these processes are quite intense. Like, if you wanted to regenerate your land, then these processes are going to work very, very rapidly for you and your community. We're going to go down here, and just on the surface is some mold. Now, mold is breaking down minerals and nutrients. You can see that there. And that provides a food source for underneath, but it's not good for when your plants are trying to germinate. And this is why we say that the applications of liquid humus over the surface, over the field, which once it's fully set up, it's like 90 cents to the acre in fertilizers. And you can fertilize as much and as often as you want, and you'll never notice the full compaction that you would normally receive in a field. Now, this compaction comes from the decimation of the soil humus layer, and the less organic matter on the surface is not able to feed the microbes, and then the soils become inactive. Now, this can be in really, really fertile soils. This can be in really bad soils. It doesn't matter. If you take these foundations away, such as food for the microbes, such as organic matter, you're going to remove the biodiversity, and then you're going to see monocropping, and then you're going to see disease, pests and issues follow. Now, these liquid humus applications that we're talking about, when you come into a field and into a location, you're actually applying a 2-year-old compost humus liquid straight over the surface. And what that does is you can do this, apply the humus over the surface, and then continue to apply until your cover crop or your cash crop is growing above the surface and blocks out 100% of the sun ray. Doesn't matter if you're in fertigation systems, and it doesn't matter if you're trying to just grow broad acre properties. Obviously the methods and systems are different depending on the locality, and it doesn't matter how big or small the property is. So Earthlove Global have come out to this property in Queensland, and we're teaching the local rural community how to regenerate their sandy loam soils. Now, they say this is a highly productive field, and in fact it probably is. But if you do not have your fungi and bacteria in your field, you're not going to get your growth that you want to achieve. Now, how can you increase the growth in your field? You can increase your growth in any field by increasing the microbial activity. And the more that you increase the microbial activity, the more fertile the soils become. But we do have an issue, because if you have high rainfall, you get leaching, and then you get locked up soils. Now, leaching is simply the fungi and bacteria and life are washed away, including the nutrients that would feed it. There are several methods that Earthlove Global teaches how to regenerate this, and one is these liquid humus applications. There is multiple other applications that you can regenerate by increasing the glomalin, which is the sticky substance that holds the fungi, holds the bacteria and nutrients together. And another is what we call mucus. Now, this comes from worms, and if you got locked up, bound up, and compacted soils, you wouldn't have this if you had 700 worms a square meter. So how can you regenerate 700 worms a square meter? Well, these are the practices that we teach in our courses. We do courses all over Australia, and we help you to understand how quick and easy it is to restore an ecosystem and location. So it doesn't matter if you're in a drought situation, it doesn't matter if you're in a high rainfall situation, it doesn't even matter if you don't even know where to start, because it's as simple as this. You get in the professionals that know and understand every different type of ecosystem in Australia, and that is Earthlove Global. We've done over 20 years plus of research, including we have several generations of backed up science from people that have studied this science their whole entire lifetime. So it's a good day. It is a good day for growers, landowners and farmers, but we always get, how come we're having this issue? It's too late. No, it's never too late. The reason why you're having the issues is lack of knowledge. So get to studying. Don't study your crop. Don't worry about your crop. Study your soils. Farmers are meant to know soil. See, on this location here, it's got more organic matter. But back over there where we come from, it's got less organic matter. This is going to be a highly productive location over in this area. Why? Because there's more food source for the microbes. You're going to get less leaching in this area and you're going to get more growth. But this organic matter isn't going to work until 1.6 years later. So all of a sudden your other side of the field becomes compact, and this side is growing really well, and you're like, why is it? Remember back 1.6 years ago and you will get the reason why, and that would have been because you would have had a failed crop, or you would have put more organic matter in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what soil type you've got. All these foundations are all about you understanding your ecosystem and you understanding your land. Now, you're going to incorporate a lot more organic matter back into the soil surface. Well, you're going to plow that in. This can be quite detrimental. But if you understand soils, you can actually get away with it without being detrimental. You can continue your practices, you can increase your practices. But most of all, if you contact the Earthlove Global team today, you can find us on social media, on Google. It doesn't matter. We're all over the internet. You'll be able to find one of our depots and locations across Queensland or across Australia. And we're here to help community increase their economy by natural applications and natural methods. We have the solutions for you, your land, your soils, your productivity, and the solution to increasing your overall productivity, which then will incorporate a profitability. Thank you for watching the entire video. We really do appreciate your support, and by you watching this video, you're helping not just yourself and your family, but you're now becoming one of the leaders in natural methods in growing in soil. If you need help or you'd like more answers, contact the Earthlove Global team. We're here today to come out to your property and your landscape and get the foundations going for your land to start to thrive. Earthlove Global will attend your site to regenerate your land naturally. Thank you again. We'll be back next week with another short video in regards to growing through soil humus.